At the sacred land of Jadefall Lake, the scenery resembled a fairy realm, waters blue as gemstones, spirit mountains encircling the area, and luminous snow spirit trees glowing in myriad colors. Crowds of young cultivators gathered outside to witness the grand assembly of geniuses. The 4 fairy maidens of the Wei clan, one of the 3 longevity families stationed at the Imperial Pass, appeared in succession. Their peerless beauty and extraordinary talent stirred waves of astonishment among the crowd. Not long after, Xihao descended upon the 5 spirits' war chariot, a renowned supreme treasure that had once dominated ancient battlefields and belonged to an invincible being. The chariot's overwhelming might shook Jadefall Lake, triggering numerous heavenly phenomena. Xihao's silver-golden body radiated brilliance, his aura like a war immortal reborn. At his side stood Jin Zan, the supreme prodigy of the 9 heavens. The two immediately became the focal point, welcomed by heroes from all sides, their reputations resounding far and wide. Soon after, Tuo Jiyu Yulong of the Tuo Jiyu clan, likewise a longevity family, arrived riding the lightning war chariot, exuding the momentum of a true dragon and displaying world-shaking strength. Following behind were his younger sister Tuo Jiyu Loyan and Wang Shi, signaling that the great families were secretly forming alliances, seeking to draw the strongest heirs into their ranks. Witnessing such displays of grandeur, Xihao remained calm and composed. He had no intention of competing for prominence now, as a great war with the foreign realm was on the verge of erupting. As the time of the genius gathering arrived, young kings of various clans appeared one after another, divine beast-drawn chariots arriving without cease. Rumors that beings from the restricted zone might descend upon the Imperial Pass sent shockwaves through the crowd, heightening the fervor in the air. At that moment, massive waves surged within the lake. A radiant emerald island rose from the waters, said to be the remains of a true immortal's dwelling, exuding dense immortal Dao aura. The crowd surged toward the island to attend the grand assembly. Cao Yusheng was stopped at the entrance for lacking an invitation, leading to an argument with the purple-haired youth responsible for maintaining order. He pointed out that many others had also brought companions without invitations, drawing widespread attention. As tensions escalated, Xihao stepped forward and calmly asked what qualifications were required. Upon learning his identity, the opposing party's attitude shifted instantly. The arrival of Xihao, known as Huang, caused an immediate sensation. Famous figures such as Qi Hong, Tuo Jiyu Yulong, Great Shu Tuo, and Jai Xian all took the initiative to greet him. His fame after the battle at the Great Scarlet Heaven border, where he had slain 10 kings of the foreign realm, earned him immense admiration and excitement among the cultivators of the Imperial Pass. The crowd gathered around, the atmosphere boiling to an explosive degree. Yet a few remained aloof, Jin Zan, Wang Shi, and Ning Chuan among them. Amid reverence and complex gazes intertwined, Xihao became the absolute center of attention at the Jadefall Island gathering. The excitement rose further when people noticed the heavenly horned ant resting on Xihao's shoulder, the son of one of the 10 fiends, carrying the rare true immortal bloodline that had survived the dark immortal ancient era. Though teased as cute by some young maidens, its terrifying lineage and potential inspired universal awe, and many marveled that this bloodline remained perfectly preserved. Xihao was invited to sit at the central position, and Cao Yusheng, thanks to their brotherhood, was also treated with high regard. However, the atmosphere quickly grew tense when Jin Jifei, Jin Zan's younger uncle, openly targeted Huang, seeking to challenge him and wash away the humiliation of a previous defeat. Cao Yusheng and the heavenly horned ant mocked him repeatedly, intensifying the conflict. Though young elites such as Qi Hong and Tuo Jiyu Yulong, along with representatives of the Wei clan's 4 royals, attempted to mediate, the Jin and Wang clans subtly maintained a confrontational stance. Jin Jifei eventually withdrew, yet a junior of the Jin clan and his battle attendant publicly insulted Huang, calling him a coward who dared not accept the challenge. At that instant, Xihao suddenly struck. With a single palm, he suppressed and directly blasted the two into pieces before everyone present. He coldly declared that he had no interest in meaningless challenges, he would only kill those who insulted him. His domineering act shocked the entire assembly. Jin Jifei flew into a rage as his people were killed in broad daylight at the grand gathering. Xihao remained indifferent, openly provoking him, causing killing intent to surge. Cao Yusheng and the heavenly horned ant continued their ridicule, reminding Jin Jifei of his previous defeat. Further humiliating him, Wang Shi stepped forward, citing the laws of the imperial pass and attempting to use the killing as grounds for severe punishment, even seeking to implicate the Shi clan. However, Xihao's side argued that the Jin clan had initiated the provocation and demanded a duel first. Thus the deaths did not violate the rules. The tension escalated to an extreme. Figures such as Tuo Jiyu Yulong and Qi Hong tried to mediate but failed. In the end, both sides agreed to settle the matter with an official duel upon the Jadefall Dao platform. Jin Jifei, a Jin clan prodigy who had stepped into the self-severing realm, confidently declared he would suppress Huang. In response, Xihao showed not the slightest fear. Instead, he arrogantly challenged Jin Jifei, Jin Zan, and Wang Shi to fight him together. Unable to endure the provocation, Jin Jifei immediately charged forward, igniting a great battle between dragons and tigers. On the Dao platform, Jin Jifei struck first with overwhelming killing intent. His gaze was sharp as blades. The moment he opened his mouth, lightning burst forth. His right hand transformed into a gigantic eye radiating precious light, hurtling toward Xihao. Simultaneously, his glabella shone brilliantly as a blood-red sword mark appeared, slashing out and unleashing tens of thousands of sword rays from the very beginning. He unleashed 3 supreme techniques in succession, forcing everyone around him to retreat. Xihao did not dodge. Instead, he directly displayed the Thunder Emperor Precious technique. Dark clouds surged in, thunder and lightning converged, and he soared onto the Dao platform, forming seals continuously as he drew upon the power of heaven and earth. Lightning descended like a vast ocean of thunder, violently colliding with Jin Jifei's attacks. The lightning from both sides clashed in dazzling brilliance. But gradually Jin Jifei's offensive was swallowed by the sea of lightning. The eye he had manifested was scorched black and exploded, while the blood-red sword light was blocked by the thunder and could advance no further. Unwilling to accept defeat, Jin Jifei released a blood sword from between his brows, a vicious weapon far beyond the self-severing realm. The blade tore through the void, piercing the thunder sea and stabbing straight toward Xihao. At the critical moment, Xihao drew the great Luo immortal sword embryo. Blinding white radiance burst forth like an immortal ascending to the heavens. And with a single strike he shattered the crimson divine sword. The destruction of his vital treasure shocked Jin Jifei. The two continued in close combat. Jin Jifei displayed immortal Dao hand seals and the Jin clan's supreme inheritance. The Vajra innate art, transforming his entire body into an indestructible golden form. Behind him appeared the majestic shadow of an immortal guardian. Xihao countered with the 6 paths reincarnation heavenly art, opening 6 reincarnation gates as fragments of time scattered through the air. The 2 ancient heavenly arts collided, unleashing a heaven-destroying shockwave. In the end, both the 6 reincarnation gates and the immortal guardian shattered, and heaven and earth trembled. Xihao was injured, blood spilling from his mouth. Jin Jifei was also forced back, blood seeping from his lips. Despite being a full major realm lower, Xihao had withstood a true immortal inheritance technique head-on, astonishing all who watched. Determined to decide the outcome, Jin Jifei pushed the Vajra innate art to its limit, proclaiming he would annihilate all techniques. At that moment, lightning once again flooded the space. Xihao stood within the thunder sea, bathed in lightning like a banished immortal descending to the mortal world. He had comprehended the supreme profundity of the Thunder Emperor and evolved heavenly tribulation according to his opponent's Dharma body. When Jin Zan cried out in alarm, the crowd finally realized in shock, Xihao was not merely controlling lightning. He could simulate heavenly tribulation itself to suppress and kill his enemies. It was a terrifying realm, nearly invincible. Under the surging heavenly tribulation, the sight of Xihao commanding lightning shook everyone. Heavenly tribulation was the power of the heavens, a death sword hanging above every cultivator's head, something no one had ever controlled. Yet Xihao now actively invoked and manipulated it, as if wielding heavenly punishment itself. Jin Jifei outwardly scoffed but inwardly felt deep dread. He went all out, unleashing a forbidden secret art of the Jin clan, awakening the ancestral immortal blood within his body. It transformed into a terrifying immortal Dao seal that struck toward Xihao. They clashed violently. The thunder sea, gold, black, purple, silver, red, surged and engulfed everything. The blinding radiance burned the eyes of many cultivators. Heavenly tribulation was unlike ordinary lightning techniques. Once it descended, it could not be evaded. Jin Ji-fei was scorched black, screaming in agony. Everyone was horrified. In this era of a broken heaven and earth, heavenly tribulation had nearly vanished. Those capable of actively summoning it were as rare as myth. Without the tempering of tribulation, living beings of this age struggled to reach true peaks. Xihao's mastery of the heavenly tribulation art proved he deserved the title of a supreme youth. Driven to desperation, Jin Ji-fei burned all his immortal blood to preserve his life. The ancestral essence blood transformed into multicolored divine armor that covered his body, temporarily resisting the lightning. Though the cost was devastating damage to his foundation and talent, he still risked everything in a final counterattack, charging at Xihao. But Xihao stood calmly within the Thunder Sea, sacred and transcendent, declaring that living beings must never treat heavenly tribulation lightly. With a gesture, he increased its might. An ancient, dried-up thunder pool from legend manifested in the sky. At his shout, the thunder pool released a suction force, dragging Jin Ji-fei inside. The divine armor shattered, and he was once again blasted apart by lightning. Finally, Xihao condensed the lightning into a warblade and, amidst the heavenly tribulation, struck down and beheaded Jin Ji-fei, ending the battle in absolute dominance and affirming his invincibility in an era devoid of tribulation. Jin Ji-fei, a famed prodigy of the Jin clan who had once passed through tribulation and possessed extraordinary strength, was still beheaded. His body was refined into charcoal by the thunder pool, leaving only his skull and primordial spirit imprisoned. This overwhelming victory confirmed the terrifying strength of Huang and left the younger generation in awe. Jin Zan, enraged, wished to avenge him, but elders of the Jin and Wang clans stopped him, unwilling to risk defeat. Both clans had long intended to nurture Jin Zan into the number one of the younger generation and would never allow him to fall. Meanwhile, Xihao's companions mocked their opponents, filling the tense atmosphere with ridicule. When a senior of the Jin clan attempted to suppress Xihao, his hand was blasted apart by the thunder pool under Xihao's control, forcing him to retreat. This further proved Xihao's astonishing power. He could even contend against elders. In the end, persuaded to preserve strength for the coming borderland war, Xihao did not kill Jin Ji-fei's primordial spirit. He returned the skull, warning him to redeem himself on the battlefield. Jin Ji-fei suffered catastrophic losses, his vitality gravely damaged. The matter temporarily settled. Through comprehending the Thunder Emperor precious technique, Xihao evolved the Thunder Pool, greatly increasing his strength. He decided to seize this opportunity to enter seclusion and undergo tribulation, preparing for his next breakthrough. This decision shocked everyone. At his realm, undergoing tribulation was almost certain death, especially in a changed world where heavenly tribulation had long vanished. Forcing it could bring catastrophic disaster. Cao Yusheng anxiously warned him that with his talent, he might attract one of the most terrifying great tribulations in history. Before beginning, Xihao entrusted his friends with two beings undergoing transformation, the striking divine stone and the emperor butterfly. He then meditated on the profound mysteries of the thunder pool, reflecting on the path once walked by the Thunder Emperor, who had sought to control heavenly tribulation to punish all beings, only to be besieged and slain. A tiny thunder pool suddenly appeared before Xihao's brow, proving he was reconstructing that power in his contemplation. The powerful figures of the Wang and Jin clans were alarmed, even harboring killing intent, fearing he might one day become the master of heavenly tribulation. The thunder pool briefly shattered amid thunderous rumbling, making everyone think he was in danger. In the end, however, only a thunder pool imprint remained on his forehead, a sign that he had successfully attained enlightenment and gained tremendous insight. Even prodigies like Jin Zan regarded him with renewed seriousness. Finally, Xihao raised his head to the heavens and formally prepared to summon his tribulation. The air grew oppressive. Strange phenomena appeared in the sky, as if it had come alive, heralding an unprecedented great tribulation about to descend.